Honorable members, shall we pray? Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic. Endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision. Courage that through the labors of government this land and people may be well and truly served, and thy good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service and honor shall be given to the deserving, a country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the effort of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honorable members, we don't have any message from the presidency, neither do we have any formal communication from the speaker. We will therefore turn to item 4. Item 4 in today's order paper. Correction of votes and proceedings and official report. We will start with votes and proceedings. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page number 7. Page 8. Page 9. Yes, Honorable Member for Kwadaso.
Honorable Speaker, on page 9, item 5, Roman numeral II, the last paragraph, he therefore entreated the general public to be circumspect and adhere to the law. There's an omission of the word "the" to the law. Thank you.
Very well. Table, kindly take note. Let's now turn to page 10. Page 11. Page 11, let's Kwadaso.
Honorable Speaker, on page 11, number 1321, Mr. Ebenezer Okrete Telabi, Lower Manya Krobo, to ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources an omission of the word "for." Thank you.
Table, kindly take note. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. We turn to page 12. Yes, let me come back to you, Honorable Member for Kwadaso.
Honorable Speaker, on page 12, item 10I, the last paragraph, Honorable First Deputy Speaker referred a statement to the Committee on Roads and Transport for consideration report. Honorable First Deputy Speaker will due from the chair at 4:09 p.m. Thank you.
Honorable Member, I didn't get you.
The position at was omitted. Chair at 4:09 p.m.
Oh, okay. Okay. Table. Kindly take note. Yes, let me come to Honorable Member for Nsawama Dojiri.
Speaker, still on page 12. If I recollect correctly, the statement that was presented by the Honorable Abnami Takando, the ranking member for Health, you have directed that the statement should be taken up.
Honorable Leader, can you speak to the mic?
Speaker, you directed that the Health Committee should take up the matter with the support from the two whips, but that is not what is reflecting on same page 12. It's not correct.
Yes. I think we are right. That was the directive I gave. So, table, we said the two whips should be part of the referral. So let's turn to page 13.
Honorable Speaker, the issue raised by my respected whip on page 13 at the apex of the page. The Honorable Second Deputy Speaker directed the majority and minority chief whips to join the joint committee to consider the referral.
Are you talking about 13?
I'm saying that the issue is erased. Your direction is captured at the top of the page 13.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Thank you very much. You are right. So we turn to 14, page 14. Page 15. Yes. If I've not seen Honorable Kujetu. Yes, Honorable, let me hear you.
Right, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Right, Honorable Speaker, at page 15, item VII, the last paragraph, the figure does not correspond with the version in words. The 1,166,833. The words you have 94 cents, but for the figures is 0.00. So we need to reconcile. I don't know which one is correct. Whether there should be 94 cents or it's just 1,166,833,000. So we need to reconcile the words and then the figures.
Thank you. Table, I hope you've seen what is. Okay. So take note of that. So we turn to 16, 16. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page 20. Page number 21. Page 22. Page 23. Page 24. Page 25. Page 20. Yes, Honorable Member for Kwadaso.
Honorable Speaker, with respect and your indulgence, I'd like us to go back to page 15 on the correction effected by Honorable Kujetu Ablakwa apart from the sign, I think the figure was captured wrongly. The words indicate 166,883, but the figure is 1,166,833. So instead of the 83, it was made 33.
Yeah, Honorable Member, I think the table will look at it. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sorry, let me take you back to page 8.
Page
8. I was marked absent yesterday. Mr. Speaker, I was in the chamber yesterday. So if my name should be corrected to be marked as present, because I was here yesterday.
Honorable members, I have said this severally. I don't see why you were here and it should be marked absent, if indeed you registered your name. Probably you didn't register your name, because the records, the table will look at the records, and so probably, no, I saw him, that is right. But the fact of the matter is that you said it severally, that once you come here, please do well to register your name. At the moment, that is the only measure. So my former leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. You see, Mr. Speaker, that is the reason why we should work on this system. So that once you come and you can register here. This morning, I came and I was given the form to sign. Yesterday, nobody came to me. Where do I locate the form? I don't even know myself.
Leader, the point is,
Why
your register is here.
Oh, here?
Yes, it's there.
I'm not getting to know that.
So that's why I see members from.
So I didn't know all this why. Because they always bring it to me to sign.
Leader, you don't know that your register is here?
No, I don't know. This morning, they brought it to me and I signed. Yesterday, they didn't bring it to me. So they should correct it.
Anyway, whatever is the table, take note of it. But I've said this several and I'm repeating it. Please, in order that you will not be marked absent whilst you've managed to come to the chamber, do well to register your name. At the moment, you don't have any measure. That's the only measure we use to know that you were here yesterday. Please. So, table, can you take note of? I saw him personally. So we are in page 23. Page 24. Page 25. Page 26. Page number 27. Page 28, page 29, page 30, page 31, page 32, page 33, page 34, page 35, page 36. Yes, Honorable Member for Northtown.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, at page 36, item number III, consistent with the rendition above, you notice that Mrs. Abna Osiasari, we have Honorable MP and Deputy Minister for Finance, Mr. William Oreku Edu, Honorable MP and Deputy Minister for Energy. But when you come to the Honorable Kwame Govins Abuja, it's only Honorable MP. If we can have the Honorable MP and Minority Chief Whip, consistent with what is happening over there, the MP and the position. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Table, kindly take note. We turn to page 37. Page page 38, page 39, page 40, page 41, page 42, page 43, page 44, page 45, page 46, page number 47, page 48, page 49, page 50, page number 51, page 52, and finally page 53. Honorable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the votes and proceedings of yesterday, Thursday, the 27th July 2023, is hereby adopted as a true record of proceedings. Honorable members, I have two official reports. The first one is Friday, 30th June 2023. Friday, 30th June 2023. Official report. Yes, Honorable Member for Kwadaso.
Honorable Speaker, on column 8, at the very top, statements of foreign exchange receipts.
Yes, Honorable, let's hear you.
Column 8, at the very top, statements of foreign exchange receipts and payments of the Bank of Ghana for the financial year ended 31st December 2022. After the BOG, there should be 4 inserted. Thank you.
Table, have you taken notice of what he's saying? Honorable Member, may you repeat?
I'm saying that.
Column 8, eh?
Yes. At the very top, the last but 2 line, Bank of Ghana for the financial year ended. 4 is omitted. Without that sentence wouldn't make sense. Statements of foreign exchange receipts and payments of the Bank of Ghana, the financial year. We have to insert 4 to make that sentence more meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hansa Department, please take note of it. Any other corrections? Honorable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the official report of Friday, 30th June 2023 is hereby adopted as a true record of proceedings. We equally have 4th July 2023 official report. 4th July 2023 official report. I repeat, 4th July 2023 official report. Honorable members, in the absence of any corrections, the official report of Tuesday, 4th July 2023 is hereby adopted as a true record of proceedings. Honorable members, before we move to the next item in today's that paper, kindly indulge me to acknowledge the presence of our sons and daughters, our nieces and nephews who have decided to be part of our proceedings today. The first school is the Apostolic Hope School, Nima. Apostolic Hope School, Nima. And the school is led by Abdul Samed Isaka. It is in Ayawaso East constituency. Do you have the member here? The member of parliament for Ayawaso East? Yes, your students are here. You may take your seat. We have Community 11 Complex JHS. Community 11 Complex JHS, Tema. And the school is led by Frida Sechi. And it is in the Tema Central constituency. Tema Central constituency. Do you have the member? Let your people see you. Yes. Very well. You may resume your seat. The third school is Hope Courage, and it's being led by Thomas Kodo. It's also from Gomua East constituency. Gomua East constituency. Do you have the member here? Yes. Honorable, these are your people. Very well. The fourth school is KNUST Students Association. KNUST Science Students Association. And it's being led by Sarkodie Evans. Do you have Dr. Mafu here, Oforikrom? Dr. Mafu is around, but he's not in the chamber. Honorable, very well. So you may resume your seat. Your member is here, but he's not in the chamber. We also have James Akonto Memorial School. James Akonto Memorial School is being led by Odame Benjamin Kumi. It is also from Asin Central. Obviously, your member is not here. Your member is not here, but you acknowledge. So you may resume your seat. And finally, we have the School of Hygiene, Accra. School of Hygiene, Accra, led by Dapajan Hannah. School of Hygiene, Accra, led by Dapajan Hannah. Also from Abrikuma South constituency. Abrikuma South constituency. Do you have the member here? Abrikuma South. Incidentally, your member is also not here. So you may resume your seat. We welcome all of you into the chamber. Honorable members, today is Friday. So I will invite the leader or the chief whip to present the business statement for the 9th week. Business statement for the 9th week. Yes, leader.
Speaker, with respect, we want to vary order of business and go on to page 17 and take item 33. So I've related to my colleague, and we seek your leave for that to be done. Just fleetingly vary it and take that item, and then we'll revert, Speaker.
Page 17, item what?
Speaker, 33. Item 33. Speaker, if it pleases you, I will further seek your leave for it to be taken by the Deputy Minister, our able Deputy Minister. And today is Friday, he's well constituted.
Yes. Honourable members, kindly allow me to respectfully invite you to page 17. Page 17, item listed 33. And that will bring us to the commencement of public business. So I will invite the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to do us the honors to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the Wildlife Resources Management Bill 2022 be now read the third time. I so move.
Yes.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, the motion has been moved and it has been seconded. The motion is before the House. So I'll go ahead to put the question. And the question is, all those in favor of the motion listed 13 in today's order paper say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
An act to consolidate and revise the laws relating to wildlife and protected areas, provide for the implementation of international conventions on wildlife to which Ghana is a signatory, and for related matters.
Honourable members, the Wildlife Resources Management Bill 2022 duly read the third time and passed. Yes, Leader.
Speaker, with respect, I will now seek your leave to present the business statement for the Leader of the House.
Very well. So, honourable members, we now turn to item 5. Item 5 in today's order paper, that's the presentation of business statement for the 9th week. So, Honourable Majority Whip may do us the honors to present the business statement for the ensuing 9th week.
Speaker,
may I invite you to come to the podium? Yes, now I can see the member for Abrikuma South is in, and I can see the member for Forikurom is also in. Yes, Leader, let's hear you.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity, and I intend to limit myself to just some portions of the statement, and hence I should do the needful, capture the entirety of it. Speaker, the Business Committee met on Thursday, 27th July, and arranged business of the House for the 9th week ending Thursday, 3rd August 2023. Formal communication, Speaker, may be given out. Statement may be admitted in accordance with our orders. Motions may be taken with their consequential resolution. Speaker, in all, 36 questions have been programmed for next week. 6 for the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, 9 for the Minister of Interior, 4 questions for the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Arts, 9 for the Minister of Energy, and 8 questions for the Minister of Roads and Highways. Speaker, the media has been reprogrammed to be presented on Monday, and that is 31st July, as against the earlier Thursday, 27th of July, and members should accordingly take notice. Speaker, it is anticipated that we are going to have extended seating, so members should program themselves duly. And the whips have engaged the Speaker in this context duly, and all the necessary expectations will be executed as planned. It is scheduled that the 66th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference, which is to be hosted by Ghana, is scheduled to take place on Saturday, 30th September.
Honourable members, let's give the leader our attention, please.
Speaker, I'm grateful. The 66th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference is scheduled to be hosted by Ghana, and it is scheduled to take place on September 6th, from 30th September to the 6th of October this year. So the House is expected to adjourn Senate day on Thursday 3rd. I thank you for the Speaker so present.
Very well. Honourable members, the business statement for the ensuing week has been read to us. If there's any issue or something any member would like to raise, the floor is yours. So let me first and foremost invite Honourable Member for Northton.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I commend the Chief Whip for the presentation of the business statement for the week ending Thursday, 3rd August 2023. Mr. Speaker, just a quick correction at page 3, item number 7, the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference. However, considering the fact that the House will be on recess, a decision regarding the participation of honourable members has commenced. It should be in past tense. So, Mr. Speaker, now to the main issue. I note that the motions that we filed and had been admitted by the Right Honourable Speaker, which had been programmed for this meeting and kept appearing in the business statement. Surprisingly, for this last business statement, they have all been taken out. They are not featuring in the business statement. And Mr. Speaker, I thought that we would take advantage of the last week to work on these motions, so that during the break we can have members consider the work required under those motions. I refer to a particular one of public interest, which the Right Honourable Speaker admitted, which a number of colleagues and I sponsored. There are 7 of us who sponsored that motion, calling for a probe into the National Cathedral scandal. Mr. Speaker, the Right Honourable Speaker admitted it. It's been on several business statements, but now it's missing. I would have thought that with the ensuing week, we will have the debate, the committee will be set up so that during the break, we can have the committee probe those matters. So I want to find out from the Chief Whip what the plans are for all of those motions. The last time I counted about 7 of them. Very, very important motions. There is one on the Bank of Ghana printing of notes. There was one also on the COVID-19 expenditure, and quite a number of very, very important motions that require some action by this House. So I want to find out what the plans are, because it's going to be a long break, and honourable members want to work. We want to make good use of the break. So let's not go on break without this House adequately having members of Parliament well programmed to work during the break. I recall, Mr. Speaker, that so far it's only one committee that has been empowered to work during the break. That is the ad hoc committee on the leak tape, the IGP leak tape saga. But that's the only committee that has been asked to work during the break. But there are so many matters of national interest, and we will be available to work during the recess. So I just want to appeal to the business committee to take a second look at those motions so that we can be programmed to attend to those matters during the break. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, let me come to Tema West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I refer to item 7, which speaks or will talk about referrals and item 5. Go to our bills and other referrals at committees, and draw your attention to the fact that this House has referred exemptions for 1D1F since 2021, which are still outstanding. Mr. Speaker, we are going on another long vacation, long recess, and there doesn't seem to be any light at the end of the tunnel for these 1D1F companies. Mr. Speaker, it is very interesting to note that because of such delays and such hindrances in the way of industry, I don't know if it has come to your notice or anybody's notice in the house, that industries or some industries are moving away from Ghana. We cannot put incentives on the table to invite investors into this country only to tell them later after they've entered that you're not going to get incentives anymore. It is very funny for anybody to import containers into this country and let it sit in the port for 2 years and pay demurrage and pay port rent. The government only has exclusive right over the duties thereon on the cargo, but not the rent of the containers on the real estate space that it occupies, or the container proper, which belongs to the shipping line that's supposed to use it to move cargo back and forth. Mr. Speaker, it is becoming a bit worrying, if not too worrying, especially on the part of the Trade Committee, which is bombarded by these complaints from 1D1F companies almost on a daily basis. I remember, or I recall, that the Trade Minister just about a couple of days ago stood up here and was, let me borrow the word, be furious about what is happening. Mr. Speaker, what is happening? The Finance Committee had that referral since 2021. I remember that your speakership even asked them to co-opt the leadership of the Trade Committee for us to sit and come up with some way forward. Up till now, Mr. Speaker, nothing is happening. And unfortunately, I don't see it in this document, which of course happened to be, let me say, the last business statement that we're going to have before we rise from this House. Mr. Speaker, it does not speak well of this House, it does not speak well of the country. And I don't think that we are serious as a country to have investors coming to this country. If we really need to put our industry on the right pedestal, Mr. Speaker, I urge you, and I urge my leadership to, as a matter of urgency, include exemptions for 1D1F companies in the business for next week before we rise. So the people who are eligible for this exemption, people who have been promised this exemption, people who came into the country because of that economic, playing field that we gave them, to have the opportunity to have their goods clear from the port and of course go about their business. Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I want you to consider this piece of input that I'm putting in, and let my leadership include that referral to the Finance Committee, who was supposed to co-opt the leadership of trade, for them to finish, for us to get people out of this quagmire. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Leader, I'll come to you. Let me listen to Bodi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've filed questions with regards to some roles in my constituency. Yes. not one, from Bodi to Ahibenso, in a very bad state. Mr. Speaker, from Drabuso to Kalo, Besiasi to Bokabo, Asawenso to Kosiadukro, these roads are in a very, very bad state. I have 4 questions on them, and I don't know when they will appear for me to ask those questions. Majority Whip, can you please check and then program it so that I can ask these questions? Because the people using those roads are suffering. And I know the Road and Highways Minister is here. If it has been cancelled, we have provided the necessary answer. Because the road during the 2020 elections went to Bodi and told the people that from Ahibenso to Bodi road has been awarded to 3 contractors. The Road and Highways Minister in 2020 elections. Have you forgotten you told the Bodi chief and his people that you have awarded Bodi to Ahibenso road to 3 contractors? As we speak.
Honorable member, we are not debating.
No, I'm not debating. I'm only referring to what he said. 3 years now, there's no pickers.
Honorable Minister, resume your seat, please.
So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to plead with the business committee to program it so that those roads can be filled. So that Mr. Road and Highway redeem your promise to the good people of Bodi and Ahibenso. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, I'm trying to check the so-called question you are claiming you filed. Because any question that comes to us, we expeditiously work on it. So I'm just asking, and he said the question was just brought to us just last Friday.
No.
Oh, I'm just being frank. That's why I called. I just want to check because
Mr. Speaker,
we don't.
the date, it was in June. Mr. Speaker.
Anyway,
I can show it to you. It was on June. Please.
Anyway, the people address it.
I know what I'm talking about. Mr. Speaker, I brought it in June, and then the standing orders is very clear on how many weeks it should take for an urgent question to be responded to.
Yes. So, Honorable Hip, you may respond to some of the concerns of our members. I'll come to you later.
Speaker, I thank my colleagues for the observations made to the statement. So, but not according to any order. Let me start off from the Honourable Member for North Tongue. On the private member motions filed, I think not limited to only the ones sponsored by him and colleagues involved. The business committee met. We also met with Speaker, and we had to prioritize following the limitation of time we had. And the member will realize that we've done, within a short time, we've done a lot of work. For instance, we've passed the contract amendment bill. We've passed the whistleblower amendment bill. We've passed the criminal amendment, all the 2 bills, the one on witchcraft and the other on death penalty abolition has also been passed. And we've also passed the wildlife resource management bill. So a lot has been done within the short time. It's regrettable, though, that we were not able to touch the scheduled private member motions. I don't know, but we'll relate to the leader of the House and the minority leader, who is also a member of the business committee. If there's something that can be done, I'm sure we'll be pleased to find space for it. I see leader walking in. if there's something that can be done, we'll be pleased to do that. Speaker, on the exemptions, lamentations shown by the Honorable Carlos, the chairman for the Committee on Trade. Speaker, it must be known that there cannot be a wholesale exemption. And this House, for a long time, has been debating concerns about exemptions, and we went ahead to pass the exemption law. And I'm reliably informed that afterwards there have been very copious engagement on how we can implement the Exemption Act. So it is not the case that somebody is discriminating against any application. I think that our colleague will come clear. If there's a specific matter that we haven't dealt with, leadership will be glad to engage the Finance Committee to deal with this matter. So there's no need for him to worry his head unduly. Speaker, on question 5 by the Honorable Member for Bodi, my senior member, he knows the orders. Order 66 is clear. Admissibility is in the bosom of the Speaker. What I can advise my colleague is that he should get closer to his whip. You have an able whip who will do all the necessary follow-up so that when it comes up at the Business Committee, we can prioritize it as a senior member of the House. So he should be patient and get closer to his whip. I'm sure if it comes up and we find space, the committee will duly program it. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Can you take the second round of concerns? Yes, let him come to Honorable Clement Apak.
Most grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise on 2 issues, both captured on page 2 of the business statement. The first one has to do with sitting time and extended sittings. I would want to get an assurance from the Business Committee and the leadership of the House that adequate preparation has been put in place to cater to our needs during these extended sittings. And Mr. Speaker, I say so based on past experiences. I do not just speak about fueling the human physiological engine to be able to give up its best as we sit for longer periods, but even in the area of our washrooms and the needed toiletries. We have had instances where during extended sittings, it has become very, very challenging to use the washrooms. And I think it is important that leadership is cognizant of this and put in place the needed arrangements. Mr. Speaker, the second issue has to do with point number 4, which is comments on mid-year review of the budget statement and economic policy of the government. I noticed that the Business Committee has allocated 15 minutes to the chair and ranking member of the Finance Committee, and they have allocated 10 minutes to all other members. Mr. Speaker, I think that is unfair. We all know what the finances of this nation are. We are aware of the haircuts. What we ought to be interested in is the consequences of the current economic downturn, and that clearly can be manifested in the social sector. Mr. Speaker, there are challenges in education, challenges in healthcare. So what I want to propose is this. We either allow all the ranking and chairmen to have 15 minutes, or at least we even it out. We should all have 10 minutes. Because I do not see what is going to come up in terms of the ranking and chairman of the Finance Committee telling us today that is going to make any difference. I think the issues are being reflected in the social sector. So I would argue that if I had my way, and I'm imploring you and the leadership, there are sectors like education and healthcare, where we are seeing the brunt of the current economic downturn, should be given sufficient time so we can let the good people of Ghana know what their conditions are and to find out from government what is being done to address them.
I so submit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Yes, Honorable Minority Whip.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity and I thank my colleague for presenting the business statement. Mr. Speaker, my colleague from Tema West suggested that there's a backlog of tax waivers that are not being taken and was encouraging the business committee to schedule them. If my colleague just opened page 6 of today's order paper, you see that as many as 5 motions for tax waivers are here. It is never true that somebody is deliberately stifling the passage of tax waivers. And let me remind you that we have granted tax waivers to many companies who are actually not doing anything. And you know about it. So encouraging us to be giving tax waivers, the people have demanded it, is not correct. Find out from yourself. We've granted tax waivers in millions of dollars for the construction of the Pullman Hotel. Go to the site now and find out if any construction is going on there. Go to La General Hospital. We've granted tax waivers for La General Hospital. Is any project going on there? We've granted tax waivers for Shama District Hospital. Is any project going on there? We've granted plenty. So why are you in the interest of shepherding or championing tax waivers? Are you a chairman just interested in tax waivers? What you are doing, and to the extent that you singled out the chairman of the finance committee, who is doing the right thing by scrutinizing the tax waiver to make sure that only those who actually are capable of doing the project get the tax waiver.
Hold on. Yes, Honorable Member for Tema West.
Respectfully, I believe my leader is out of order. We are talking about the situation whereby him and myself, people here gathered, we have sat in this room and we have given these incentives out to people who want to come and invest in Ghana. Why then do you come back behind us and come and subsidize the grant of exemptions? You and I granted this exemption here. We gave it to them. So please, if you think that the monitoring is not working, let us now empower those who are supposed to monitor and monitor well. But why are you inducting yourself in this manner? I think you're out of order.
You are talking for trade.
That is the whole point I'm making, that Parliament is not actually stifling any committee from doing their job. And the Finance Committee actually have done a good job with the tax waivers, in line with the new laws we have passed. And I'm saying that we have given tax waivers to entities who are actually not doing anything. They took the tax waivers and there's no project going on. So whose interest are you projecting? I'm at a loss. And just to remind you that the business committee, in fact, even today's business statement reads 6 more tax waivers bills are on there. So what is your point? It is not true. The finance committee is not in the business of stopping tax waivers from being granted. But we can't grant tax waivers to entities who are not doing anything. And you are the chairman. Help government to mobilize revenue. Yes. What this country needs today is revenue. It's the revenues that are underperforming. Yes. You have been a deputy minister before. Help government raise revenue. Yes. Don't be telling us don't encourage us to give away more money. Today, the $75 million tax waivers we granted for Pullman Hotel, I'm telling you, for 2 years, there's not a shovel even on the site. La General Hospital, we've granted tax waivers. There's no project going on. So go back and think well about this thing and stop accusing the chairman of the finance committee, who is doing a fantastic job. Mr. Speaker, I'm even surprised that Mr. Speaker, for the first time in Parliament, a minister of state is asking a chairman of a committee a question. What is it?
Who is the minister of state? Who is the minister of state?
Mr. Speaker, on today's order paper, read. The minister of Trade. Interestingly, I don't know what is happening at the trade side. The chairman of the trade committee is now accusing the chairman of the finance committee of not granting enough tax waivers. The minister of trade is asking the Mr. Speaker on page 32. Notice of urgent question. Mr. Kobina Tahid Mohammed Hammond to ask the chairman of the finance committee, Mr. Kweku Kwate, why the finance committee has not reported on the number of 1D1 taxes. What is happening? I've never seen this in this house. What is this? What exactly is in this tax waivers that the chairman of the trade committee and the minister are so interested? Your interest is becoming, I mean, something else. I don't know what to use.
You are finished.
Well.
Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I think you are giving my leader too much traction. My leader should be made aware that the Minister for Trade is also a member of Parliament. And therefore, if he decides to pose a question, he has a right to do so. Of course. That notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, all the examples you gave, none of them is 1D1F. People, you are throwing that into our eyes. We are saying that this House has granted or has caused to be granted waivers for companies who intend to invest in our country to boost industrialization. Now, after giving that incentive, after giving that blanket incentive, the Finance Committee now decides that they will take these exemptions one by one instead of putting an SPV in place like the free zones law or the GIPC law for the exemptions to be issued in these organizations. Here, you and I have to receive these 1D1F exemptions one by one to grant those exemptions. It never happens with industry. If we are talking about road construction, if you are talking about hospital construction and so on, it is different. But when it comes to industry, Free Zone has a right under their law to issue their own exemptions, which was granted them from this room. JIPC have the right to grant their own exemptions, which was granted them from this room. So if you have a new program coming on as 1D1F, it is only incumbent upon this House to get that agency for the exemptions. Be that as it may, even if it is not so, it is important for us to realize that, Mr. Speaker, when we go on recess and the exemptions in this House to be granted, you put the investors in that situation whereby they have to wait for us to come up from recess before they can go and process their document. That is if the exemption is given. We are sitting in this room, we have exemption requests since 2021. 2021. And it is giving us problems, it is giving a headache. Are you telling me that any serious investor coming to this country who has borrowed money from the bank should sit down for 2 years before they get the exemption to clear the goods from the port? What are you doing to industry? You are killing industry.
Honorable Chair, honorable member, I think we are reducing.
But I'm holding this House responsible for what is happening.
Honorable member, I think we are reducing the business statement to 1D1F. I mean, you raised an issue, and I think the issue had been addressed by the majority whip. I don't think we have to reduce the whole business statement to 1D1F. I mean, if you want us to address that, and then you have to come appropriately. You can come by way of question or have a way of letting the House addressing that particular issue you are raising. But for now, I think we are dealing with business statement which has nothing to do with 1D1F. So, well, if you bring questions, fine, we will look at it. Yes, majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me use this opportunity to correct an impression created by the member for Tema East. Mr. Speaker, it's not the same. Mr. Speaker, it is not true that the Finance Committee has declined to deal with the matter. Mr. Speaker, it's important, I'm not debating, but it's important for me to clear the air on this matter. Mr. Speaker, honestly speaking, the committee considered this.
Let me listen to First Deputy Speaker on point of order.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the time for business statement is a presentation of the program for the ensuing week. Members may make comment as to something being left out or something ought to be added. I've noticed, Mr. Speaker, that on this occasion. A comment made by a member has been responded to, is becoming a debate. That is defeating the purpose for presenting the business statement. Let's return to the business statement. If it is adopted and any member wants to bring the matter up, they may. But for now, Mr. Speaker, your duty is to put the issue to rest. Let's deal with the business statement and abate any debate further. Thank you.
Well. So, Leader.
Speaker, let me make this point.
The point is,
Mr. Speaker, it should be noted that I'm the ranking member of the business committee, and the matter relates to the business statement. And he has actually asked a question and asking the business committee to slate them for the chairman of the finance committee to submit the report. Mr. Speaker, it is only right for me to respond to this matter. Mr. Speaker, the point is that this House rejected those referrals and asked the finance committee to relook and do further research into the matter. And Mr. Speaker, it is not right and it is wrong for you to think that the finance committee, of which I'm a member, has failed to sit on the referrals. We sat on it, we brought it to this House rejected it and referred it back to the finance committee to look at it again. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, we are not able to submit those referrals. Mr. Speaker, we are talking of 150 tax exemptions, 150 companies, amounting to billions of cedis. Mr. Speaker, at the time that the government needs every revenue, and this House has referred it back to the finance committee. So nobody should blame the chairman of the finance committee for not doing his job. The trouble is that this House rejected them and asked the finance committee to relook into the matter and rebring it. And that is why we have not been able to submit it.
Well.
Thank you.
Well. So, honorable member, I mean, you can bring a question or a motion for us to discuss in detail. But for now, we are dealing with a business statement that has been presented by the committee. So, honorable members, I think we have done justice to the business statement, and I will go ahead to adopt it. So, honorable members, the business statement as presented to, you want to respond to? Okay.
Speaker, there were some outstanding concerns raised. I think the latter one has to do with Dr. Apak, and he had related to extended sitting, and his worry was if adequate preparations has been put in place. I want to assure my colleague, the chief whip will bear me out, that we've taken measures. In fact, comprehensive provision has been done, so there's no need for him to worry. On the allocation of time, if the member recalls, even budget presentation, this has been the standard time that is provided. But the leader of the House is here, and if there's something they can do about it, the leader can relate duly. Again, I'm reliably informed the minister is coming by statement. If you take good notice, not by motion, and by order 72, it's not supposed to provoke debate. You make brief comment on the statement presented by the sector minister. If you refer to order 72, is there adequately provided? So I don't think there is a point to worry about. Speaker, I think this will be my response for now. Thank you.
Very well. Honourable members, the business statement as presented to us and has been thoroughly been discussed is hereby adopted. Yes. Leader, are you?
Yes, Speaker, you're ready for item 6 now.
Well. So, honourable members, page 3, item 6. Urgent question. And the urgent question stands in the name of Honorable John Benam Jabba, member for Zabzugu. And the question is addressed to the Minister for Roads and Highways. So, Offa, may you take your rightful seat.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the abandoned metal bridge between Ogbunja and Kuntumbi Yile will be completed, as it's affecting the socio-economic activities of the people in that area.
Thank you. Honourable members, let's take note of this. If the question is constituency specific, we will not allow anybody to ask supplementary question. If it's constituency specific, the owner of the question will be given 2 extra supplementary opportunities. So, Offa, you may respond to this question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ogbunja, Kuntubi, and other surrounding communities in the Zabzugu district are important crop farming centers. The steel bridge on Ogbunja Kuntubi will link this road, which is normally cut off during the rainy season. Mr. Speaker, the contract on construction of steel bridge number 5 over River Kula on Zabzugu Kuntumbi Feeder Road was awarded but eventually terminated. This was due to the fact that the contractor abandoned the site after the abandonment. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Highway Authority has reviewed the apartments that were constructed and recommended an extension of the abutment to carry a wider bridge. The Ministry of Roads and Highways has accepted the recommendation and approved the installation of a 2-lane Bailey Bridge with walkways at the location. The future program for this bridge, Mr. Speaker, is that the Bridge Maintenance Unit of the Ghana Highway Authority will undertake the installation of the bridge. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Honorable Jabba, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, Mr. Speaker, a short history about the bridge is this. It all started in 2006. Then in 2009, it was abandoned. Then, at the time I was in Parliament, I worked my way throughout to the then Minister for Roads and Highways. Then they repackaged the project again for a new contractor. As I talk to you now, my research has shown to me that the contractor is now late, he has passed on. And since then, nothing has been happening at the site again. Unfortunately, that is why I made it an urgent question. Unfortunately, for the last 2 years, we have lost 3 people. The last one was just on the 16th of June at the place. So my major headache is that, can the minister, please, the sake of the people over there, fast track or package it into his agent project now that we are getting into the rainy season? We lost a schoolboy last month on the 16th of June.
Yes. Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, may you put off your...
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I indicated in my answer that yes, as he is lamenting, it's true. The project was originally awarded, but the contractor couldn't do it. Now we are even widening the abutment. The original abutments that were built were found to be narrow, so we are now even widening it, and the cost estimates have been done and have been approved. And this is an urgent project, and we have put it on an emergency list as an urgent project because there is a crossing, river crossing at that side, particularly during this rainy season. So, Mr. Speaker, we are attaching all agency and importance to this bridge, and it will be done. That is why we have given it to our BMU unit, the Bridge Maintenance Unit, to work on it because of its urgency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable John, are you?
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I am okay, but I will be bothering Offer in his office. He should take note.
Very well. Thank you very much. So we come to the main questions. And we'll start with question 326. Question 326. A member for Qatar, Honorable Kwame Gapi. Honorable, the minister is available. You may ask your question now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways what plans the ministry has to check the indiscriminate construction of unauthorized speed ramps on the major roads and highways in the country. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, unauthorized speed humps pose significant safety hazard to motorists, leading in some cases to accidents and vehicle damage. To address this problem, the Ministry of Roads and Highways has adopted the following plans to deal with the situation. 1. Engagement with key stakeholders like the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, to enforce speed limits on the major roads and highways and collaborate with the National Road Safety Authority to raise awareness among road users about safe speed and road user behavior. 2. Removal of all unauthorized speed humps and replacement of this with appropriate speed calming measures, such as raised island and the use of road line markings to narrow road width at appropriate sections of the road. 3. Installation of speed cameras at highway sections, which go through settlements in collaboration with the MTTD of the Ghana Police Service as a long-term measure. Mr. Speaker, these measures together will help curb the indiscriminate construction of unauthorized speed humps and promote safer road conditions for all road users. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. And I thank the Minister for the answer to my question. Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the Minister timeline, because the speed ramps are killing. Day in, day out, people are dying. When are they going to remove them? Because some are the illegality, some of them you can't comprehend. When are they going to remove that?
Minister, can you give us timelines?
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is an ongoing exercise. It started as far back as 2 years ago around the country, and we did that with our own initiative. Many have been removed because it causes a lot of damage, as I've stated, not only to vehicles, not only to cause accidents, but even to the human body. So it has got even health implications if you consider the effect that it has on even human beings and drivers especially. So there is no defined, definite timeline. It's an ongoing exercise, and we have done a lot, and we preceded it with ramp audit nationwide. So if you still have a problem or special problem in your particular locality, you can bring it up. But as a policy, we are doing it across the country. And it dates back, as I said, 2 years ago. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, the last one.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I would like to inform the Minister, Accra Aflau Road. Accra Aflau Road. The speed ramp, the unauthorized speed ramps are many on the road, and accident is happening day in, day out. So as he requested, I should mention the road. I'm mentioning Accra Aflau Road. And then my last one is that will Minister consider giving authority to district assemblies to do that on his behalf? To demolish those ones.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will do a particular check on the Afrao Road, because as far as I know, like I said, it's an ongoing exercise across the country. But in all honesty, this is a very important that is being asked, because it affects everybody, of great worry to the ministry, for that matter, to government. Because, Mr. Speaker, unauthorized speed hump, affect roads and roads. So I will check the Afrao Road in particular and see what could be done. But I will urge the police, to also assist us. They do it, but if they can intensify it, and motorists should also learn that as much as it is uncomfortable for all of us, they should also exercise great caution, because the communities do this unauthorized speed hump because of the over speeding of drivers, knocking down people. So drivers should also be cautious, so that all of us live in peace. I thank you.
Let's now move to Saudai. Honorable Roxanne Nelson Eche Kwame Dafiamapo. If you are here, you may ask your question on question 479.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have his authority to ask the question on his behalf.
Let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the Quiver to Todoma Road project, which has stopped, will be completed.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Todomi to Kwebe Road of length 8.35 kilometers forms part of the National Road N2, otherwise known as the Eastern Corridor Road. It is located in the South District of the Volta region. Currently, Mr. Speaker, this road section has been under the project title Upgrading of Esikuma Junction to Have Road of length 39.35 kilometers. Mr. Speaker, the project commenced on 27 September 2021 for completion by April 2025. The project is being funded by the government of Ghana. The physical progress is estimated at 27.5 kilometers. Mr. Speaker, works on the Todomi to Kwebe section stalled as a result of variation in the scope of works. Currently, Mr. Speaker, approval for variation order, which includes the Todomi to Kwebe section, has been granted to the contractor and works are ongoing. Works completed to date include sub-base 100%, crash rock base 10.6 kilometers, under course 10.6 kilometers. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister as to whether, with the current progress of work, the work will meet the deadline set on the paper here.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yes, I indicated in my answer that at some point the work stalled for a period because of the variation order. So definitely the original deadline couldn't be met, but with the new deadline set, it will definitely be met. And work is going on steadily. Like you can see from the answer, the base is done 100%. And if you say 100% done up to base level, it means that it has really advanced, because from base you are adding bitumen, and it's an asphaltic concrete road. And I also indicated in the answer that as long as 10.6 kilometers has been covered with the Banda course, because it's asphaltic, and that is left with only one stage to put the wearing course on it. So, Mr. Speaker, work is going on progressively. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, would
I said I'll give 2 extra or supplementary questions. You've asked the 2. Meanwhile, the question is not even your question. It's okay. Let's move on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, would the Minister, with all due respect, tell me when they last visited the site?
I wouldn't admit this question. I wouldn't admit this question. So we will move on to question 494. Question 494. And the question stands in the name of Dr. Kobadonko, Pro East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways the status of Yeji Town Roads, that is phase 2 of the Yeji Town Roads.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Yeji is the capital of through its district of the Bono East region. The area boasts of farm produce and livestock. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the town roads have been awarded under the contract titled Upgrading of Selected Roads in Yeji. Town roads measuring 6 kilometers. Work commenced on 27 July 2020 for completion by 26 January 2022. This was subsequently revised to 2023. Works executed to date include 600 by 600 millimeter U drains and 2,200 meters. The project is at 10.7% physical completion. Mr. Speaker, the contractor has abandoned site due to delay in payment for work done. Warning letter has been issued to the contractor reminding him of his contractual obligation to complete the remaining works. The contractor has indicated his willingness to go back to site to complete the outstanding works after payment of his outstanding certificate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, just for the records, Yeji is the capital of the fishing industry, of the inland fishing industry. It's noted even more for fish than livestock and farm products. Mr. Speaker, I asked the minister that with 10.7% of the U drains completed, Mr. Speaker, when will the whole project be completed? Since it's already long overdue, according to the answer provided by the minister.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this project should have been completed within a year, 12 months. But because the contractor could not draw it, it has been extended. I can say that once it's only 10.7% of the work that has been done, and this covers, some of the drains. So coming back to do the earthworks, if the contractor is paid and comes back, assuming we keep the same contractor, I will maintain the same 12-month period, or perhaps less, since part of the work has been done. So the most important thing is to work to make sure either the contractor is paid something and comes back, or if we realize that he hasn't gotten the capacity as at now, as he has been written to, then we will be compelled to terminate it and find a better contractor with a better capacity to do the work. I thank you.
Yes, your last supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, as the minister is an honorary citizen of Yeji, and recognizing that the main challenge of the contractor is funding, and also recognizing that the road fund is one of the agencies under the minister, will the minister be kind enough to the people of Yeji by ensuring that the road fund at least makes some allocation to the contractor? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have a worry with this contractor. I must be honest with you. I may not want to mention the name of the contractor at this point. But, Mr. Speaker, my worry is that looking at the entire contract sum and the work done by the contractor and the certificate raised over $1 million, and if there is any contractor who wears his or her salt, an outstanding amount of a little over $1 million. $1 million is a lot of money, but I am talking in the context in relation to the work being given to him. I'm afraid that else we may be forced to look for a better contractor with a better capacity to do it. Because even if this amount is paid to him tomorrow, from the latest experience that I have, the contractor will not be able to do their work. But we can try it. Anytime money becomes available from now, he will be paid. And if he fails to go to site, after the money he has earned, he must be paid. Or else we will look for another contractor.
From Pru East, we move to Gomua West. Honorable Richard Jan Mensah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways why construction work on the following roads in the Gomua West constituency has stalled and when works will resume and be completed. The roads are Gomua Hotel to Gomua Abrukum Road, Gomua Hotel to Gomua Mankwadi Road, and Gomua Asen Township Road.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Gomua Oseo to Abrakum Feeder Road is identified on Department of Federal Roads Road Database as Gomua Oseo to Abrakum Feeder Road, which is 6 kilometers long. It is an access road located in the Gomua West district of the Central Region. It is an engineered road in poor surface condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, contract for the upgrading of the town roads were awarded under the project title Bitumen Surfacing of Gomua Oseo to Abrekum. The contract was awarded on 30th October 2019 and commenced on 3rd January 2020 for completion by 2nd January 2021. The project is being funded by the Ghana Road Fund. Works executed to date, Mr. Speaker, include 1. Clearing 6 kilometers completed, 2. 600 by 600 millimeter concrete drains, and 1,768 meters completed, pad covers 12 number 1 by 1,200 millimeters completed. Mr. Speaker, the contractor abandoned the project after achieving about 22% physical progress due to delay in payment for work done. Warning letters have been issued to the contractor reminding him of his contractual obligation to complete the remaining works. The contractor has indicated his willingness to go back to site after payment of outstanding certificates. 2. Gomua Oseo to Gomua Mankwaze Road. Mr. Speaker, this road is 5.5 kilometers long It is an access road located in the Gomoa West District of the Central Region. It is an engineered road in poor surface condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, contract for the upgrading of the road was awarded under the project title Bitumen Surfacing of Gomoa Osim to Gomoa Mankwase. The contract was awarded on 31st October 2019 and commenced on 31st January 2020 for completion by 30th January 2021. The project is being funded by Ghana Road Fund. Works executed to date include clearing 5.5 kilometers, completed 5 culverts, 8 in number, 1,200 also completed. Mr. Speaker, the contractor abandoned the project after achieving about 25% physical progress due to delay in payment for work done. Warning letters have been issued to the contractor reminding him of his contractual obligation to complete the remaining works. The contractor has indicated his willingness to go back to site after payment of outstanding certificates. 3. Gomoa Asin Township Road. Mr. Speaker, these roads are engineered roads located in the Gomoa West District of the Central Region. The Gomoa Asin Town Road is 1.7 kilometers. Currently, Mr. Speaker, contract for the upgrading of the town roads were awarded under the project title Bitumen Surfacing of Gomoa Asin Town Road. The contract was awarded on 30th October 2019 and commenced on 25th May 2020 for completion by 25th May 2021. The project is being funded by the Ghana Road Fund. Works executed to date, the Speaker, include clearing 1.7 kilometers and is completed pipe cover 3 in number 900 millimeter, also completed 450 by 450 millimeter concrete U drains. We have done 1,476 meters, 600 by 600 millimeters concrete U drains, 1,633 meters done, and 900 by millimeter concrete U drain, 156 millimeter done. Mr. Speaker, the contractor abandoned the project after achieving about 54.71% physical completion due to delay in payment for work done. Warning letters have been issued to the contractor reminding him of his contractual obligation to complete the remaining works. The contractor, the Speaker, has indicated his willingness to go back to site after payment outstanding certificate. I thank you.
Yes. Honorable, your last question.
Mr. Speaker, I thought you said you were giving us two.
Very well. Let's take your first supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the minister. In his response, he indicated that the contractors are ready to return to site if they receive payment. Is there any indication of a payment to these contractors early so that they can move to site?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I have stated the funding source of all these jobs. And I believe my honorable colleague appreciates the fact that all these roads in his constituency have been awarded, the two main roads and the town roads. The road fund, yes, comes in, but it's under a challenge. So anytime it comes, we make payments to all the roads, that are being funded, by that particular fund. So we rotate, and whenever possible, and I cannot give exact dates, but I'm sure it will come to the turn of the contractor. So it will be any moment from now, the contractor will be paid. But I've always indicated that by the contractual obligation, between both the contractor and the employer, on the part of the contractor, yes, payment could be delayed, but it's not enough excuse to be off-site. But whatever we have to do to keep contractors on site, Mr. Speaker, it will be done.
Are you okay?
Mr.
Or you
Speaker,
still have?
Yes, I still have one.
Okay, let's hear you.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister for his response. However, once payment is involved, and from his response, there is no clear date that payment will be made so that the contractor will return to site. Currently, the state of the road is in a very bad state. Is there any plans from the ministry to do some reshaping once the contractor prepares to move to site?
So the question is there any funds?
Plans to...
Our plans,
yes.
Okay. So, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, definitely. Until the contractor is paid and he comes back, we continue to carry out our ongoing emergency works. So obviously, yes, we can look at it and bring any portion of the road, whether sectional repairs or whatever it is, under that ongoing maintenance program that we have. So it's possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Honorable Richard Jan Mensah, you may take your second substantive question on question 1187.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when works on the following roads will be completed. Gumwa and Kamo to the Rampon Road. Gumwa and Kamo to Apam Road. Chinkwanta to Mando Road.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Gumwa and Kamu, that is Apam Junction to the Rampong Road, which is 13 kilometers, and Gumwa and Kamu to Apam, 7 kilometers. Just because these roads form part of the R207 and R208. The roads start from Apam through Ankamu, Enyeme, the Rampon, Afranse to Swedru. The roads are located in the Gumwa West District and Aguna West Municipality of the Central Region, respectively. Mr. Speaker, currently the Gumwa and Kamu to the Rampon and Gumwa and Kamu to Apam roads have been awarded under the contract title Partial Reconstruction of Apam to Ankamu to Afransi to Aguna Swedru Road under Lot 1, covering the first 20 kilometers, and Lot 2, covering another 25 kilometers, that's from kilometer 20 to kilometer 45. Mr. Speaker, works commenced on 4 June 2020 for completion by 3 December 2022. The project is being funded by Kokobo. Works executed to date include clearing and demolition 100%, concrete works 70%, earthworks 15%. To date, the physical progress of work is estimated at 23.13%. The contractor has suspended work due to delay in payment for work done. The contractor has indicated his willingness to go back to site to complete the outstanding works after payment of certificates. Chiren Nkwanta to Mando Road. Mr. Speaker, this feeder road is 15 kilometers long. It is a connector road located in the Gumua West District of the Central Region. It is an engineered road in poor surface condition. Mr. Speaker, currently, contract for the upgrading of the road was awarded under the project title Bitumen Surfacing of Chiren Nkwanta to Mando. The contract was awarded on 11th April 2018 and commenced on 20th June 2018 for completion by 19th December 2019. The project is being funded by the Ghana Road Fund. Works executed to date include clearing 15 kilometers and is completed 600 by 600 millimeter concrete U-drains, 224 meters done, 900 by 900 concrete U-drains, 198 meters down. The contractor abandoned the project after achieving about 5% physical progress. The contract was terminated on 17 June 2021 due to non-performance by the contractor. The future program, Mr. Speaker, reassessment and revised cost estimates have been conducted on the outstanding works on the road after the termination of the contract. The execution of the works will be considered under the 2024 budget, subject to availability of funds. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister once again for the response. I would want to follow from the Minister. Mr. Speaker, for the Ankamu Apam Road and Ankamu the Rampon Road, Gumua West has about 78 communities, and this road connects almost about 60% of these communities. And it's in a very vast. I want to find out from the Minister if he would consider, from his response, the contractor would like to receive payment before he moves to site. As we speak now, the nature of the road has posed a huge security threat to the communities around this area. Would you consider to give us some remedial works like reshaping immediately before the contractor moves to site? Because as we speak now, the place cannot be, nobody can use the route between 6 p.m. and then 6 a.m. in the morning. If there was any consideration or any plans to help us by giving us some remedial works. I mean, Ankamu the Rampon Road and then Ankamu Apam Road.
Very well. Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, Mr. Speaker is talking about the Ankamu to the Rampon Road. So once those roads are of critical nature, obviously if something has to be done, we are prepared to do it. But the third one, you can see the percentage completion, only 5% after the award. It means that the contractor has no capacity at all. That's why we have gone ahead to terminate that one, and that one will have to be re-awarded. But for the reported nature of the road. If we have to do something on emergency basis to relieve the people of the area, why not? It's possible. Yes, that could be done.
Very well. From Gumwa West, we move to Techima North. Techima North. Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu Ejari.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when contractors will resume work at the Esuye Mesedan Boyem Road in the Techima North constituency. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Esuye Mesedan to Boyam Fiza Road is about 8 kilometers long. It is located in the Techima North district of the Bono East region. It is an engineered gravel road in poor surface condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, contract for the upgrading of the road was awarded under the project title Upgrading of Esuye Junction to Boyam Feeder Road and others, totaling 16.9. The contract was awarded on 30th October 2015 and commenced on 29th November 2015 for completion by 29th March 2017. The project is being funded by the Ghana Road Fund. The contractor abandoned the project after achieving about 48% fiscal completion. Despite several warning letters issued to remobilize to site to complete the remaining work, the contractor failed to comply. As a result, the project was terminated on 2nd September 2022 for non-performance. Mr. Speaker, the future arrangement is that reassessment and revised cost estimates have been conducted on the outstanding works on the road after the termination of the contract. The execution of the works will be considered under the 2024 budget, subject to availability of funds. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Elizabeth, the way the minister is smiling towards you, it appears that your issues are over.
Yes, I hope so. At least the minister has shown good faith to me before when he helped me with the installation of traffic lights. Even though it's not completed, at least he has done it. So I hope that what I'm going to request to him do it. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Esuye Mesedan Boyem Road is an important road in the Techima North district because it leads to large tracts of cocoa farms, cashew farm, and yam. We have cases of rotting yam because of the road. So even though he's going to fund the proper construction of the road in 2024 budget, can he be kind enough to give us some remedial measures by reshaping the road before 2024? I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, remedial measures to reshape the road.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, and I thank her, and she's one person, I must put it on record and be honest, who is consistent, about her roles in her constituency. And we have been working together. I would want to assure her that, as we have done in the past, as she has testified to it herself, we should work together. And if there are emergency or remedial works to be done, because it's a very important farming community. The Chiman generally, is a very important community. So let's work together and see what could be done. Mr. Speaker, I will continue to work with my colleagues.
Thank you very much. We then move to German South. German South. Honorable William Okofodate. Is he not around? Is he not around? German South. Honorable Okofodate. Very well. We move on.
Mr. Speaker, no, that is the Honorable MP, the neighboring constituency, so he has the authority.
Yes, Honorable, let's hear you.
With your permission, Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the question on behalf of my colleague. I rise to ask the Minister for roads and highways the current status of works and financing for the first phase of the Sino Hydro project.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Roads and Highways signed an agreement with Sino Hydro Corporation Limited, known as the Sino Hydro Master Project Support Agreement, MPS, for the construction of priority infrastructure projects. It is an engineering, procurement, construction contract, EPC, for construction, rehabilitation of selected roads and interchanges in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, currently 10 number projects were awarded under the Master Project Support Agreement Phase 1. Financing closure on 7 out of the 10 projects was achieved, and the status of the 7 projects are as follows. 4 of the projects have been completed. These are Tamale Interchange, 100%, Western Region and Cape Coast Inner City Roads, 100%, upgrading of selected feeder roads in Ashanti and Western Region, 100%, and construction of Hohoi, Jasikan, Dodo, Pepesu Road, 100%. The remaining 3 were at various stages of completion until the contractor suspended works in January 2023, awaiting government decision on the debt restructure. The projects are 1. Kumasi Inner City Roads, 25% completed. Peace TC Roundabout Interchange Project, Takradi, 80% completion stage, and Sunyani Inner City Road, 70% completion stage.
You've now come. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Then ask the supplementary question.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Minister, I'm so much particular about the Sino Hydro project in Sunyani. If you can tell me something about the Sino Hydro project in the Bono region, because I've been in the region for some time now, and it seems the whole project is stalled. Nothing is working there for some time now. So if you can tell me more about those ones. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think I have been so clear in my answer. I have spoken about the Sano Hydro facility, and I have also indicated that under phase 1, 10 different projects were agreed and commenced. Out of that, about 4 have been fully completed. Then the other 3 were ongoing, and I've mentioned them until the work was suspended in January this year. And it was officially announced, the suspension was officially announced somewhere in December by the finance minister when we were carrying out negotiations with the International Monetary Fund. It has been completed now and has completed so well. So there are arrangements to lift the ban so that all those projects could continue. So once the ban is lifted or the suspension ends, all those roads will come on stream, including the roads that you are asking of. So that is clear. I've been clear on that. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We move to question 1179. Question 1179 in Kwantan North. Honorable John Kwabena Utibres.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the Kwasa to Tinjasi barrier road will be awarded to a contractor. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Kwasa Tinjasi road forms part of the Kwasa to Tinjasi to Nabu border feeder road of length 24.8 kilometers. It is an engineered road in poor surface condition and located in the Kwantano district of the Uti region. Mr. Speaker, currently, contract for the bituminous surface dressing of Kwasa Tinjasi feeder road of length 24.8 kilometers was awarded on 4 November 2015. Work commenced on 6 January 2016 for completion by 6 January 2017. The contractor vacated site in 2016 after executing only 11% of the works. The contract was terminated on 17 June 2021. Works executed as at termination include 1. Clearing and formation 24.8 kilometers. Construction of 600 millimeter U-drain, that is 300 meters. The future program, Mr. Speaker, is that engineering, design, and condition survey have been conducted on the outstanding works and estimates prepared for consideration under the 2024 budget, subject to availability of funds. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Tibres, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, you are aware that the current estimate in your office, the project has been divided into 3 phases. You gave me an assurance a couple of times that you will approve of phase 1 of the estimate for it to be done. So I want to find out when will this approval be given so that at least phase 1 of the project will be awarded to a contractor. Since it is an urgent project, you are aware that the National Security has written last year or 2 to your regional manager, Federal Roads manager in Uti region, indicating that the road should be attended to. It's an urgent road. So when will this estimate be given approval, at least phase 1 of the estimate? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this particular road has had a checkered history. It was awarded in 2016 and terminated in 2016 because the contractor couldn't do the work and he abandoned sites. In the same year, 2016, after doing only 11% of the work, no persuasion could bring the contractor back. So we were compelled to terminate it. Yes, what you are saying is true. National security, rides on certain roads to draw our attention to the national security impact on those roads. But whatever it is, the most important thing is availability of funds to build such roads. And given the status of it, we have done everything about that project and we are going to do it in phases. Approval will be given obviously before November because we want it to form part of the 2024 budget. You know, 2024 budget officially will be presented to this Honorable House in November. So it has to be approved between now and October so that it can form part of the estimates for work to be undertaken in 2020. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Thank you very much. We, from Nkwanta North, we move to Jirapa. Jirapa. Honorable Creatius Seidu Dapila.
Thank you,
Right. Did I pronounce the name well, Dapila?
Yes, Dapila.
Very well.
Dapila. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the contractor working on the Jirapa Duori Road will resume work. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Jirapa to Dioli Road is 11.2 kilometers. The road is located in the Jirapa district of the Upper West region. It is an engineered gravel road in poor surface condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, contract for the upgrading of the road was awarded under the project titled Upgrading of Jirapa Duari Road. The contract was awarded on 10th June 2020 and commenced on 8th October 2020 for completion by 7th October 2022. The project is being funded by the Government of Ghana. Works executed to date include clearing and formation 11.2 kilometers, filling to formation 8 kilometers completed, pipe covers 2 in number, 1 by 900 millimeter also completed, and then another pipe cover 1 in number, 1 by 1,200 meters also completed. The contractor suspended the project after achieving 30% physical progress. The contractor has suspended was due to delay in payment of outstanding certificates. The contractor has indicated his willingness to go back to site after substantial payment have been honored. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I can recognize that he has a lot of questions to answer. But Mr. Speaker, I barely heard him. Even me that I'm close by, I couldn't hear him. So can you speak a little bit louder?
Very well, but I believe Sen heard him. So, as much as I will admonish the minister to speak up, I believe the owner of the question heard him. So, Honorable Member for Jirapa, may you ask your supplementary question?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Last month I was in the constituency, Duori specifically. Mr. Speaker, Duori is the hometown of SD Dombo, founding member of the New Patriotic Party. If you are to mention 3 people in the MPP, you will hear of Dombo Buzia Dankwa tradition. And I am surprised that, or what I just want to add is that I would like to create your indulgence that let us honor SD Dombo by ensuring that that road is tarred. The chief and the people of Duori are not very happy about it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. You are taking advantage of the name, eh? That's good. So from Jurapa, we move to Dafiama Busie Isaac. Honorable, I thought you were finished. Sir, it wasn't a question. You were just appealing to the minister. So I think the minister has taken it on board. So we move to Dr. Sebastian Sandari.
Mr. Speaker, I have his authority to ask the question.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yes, please. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when work will start on the Kajikwiri Chale Jimpense Goodmore Road.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Kwajukwari to Chara to Jimpensi Gono Feeder Road is identified on Department of Feeder Roads Road Database as Kwajukwari to Chana Jimpensi Feeder Road of length 9.5 kilometers long and Jimpensi to Bayire to Gono, which is 19.5 kilometers long. The Speaker, both roads are engineered connector roads in poor surface condition. The roads are located in the Fiama to Busia to Isa district of the Upper West region. Currently, Mr. Speaker, I start with Jampensi to Bayire to Gono Road of length 19.5 kilometers. Contract for the rehabilitation of the road was awarded under the project titled Rehabilitation of Gonwa to Bayere to Jimpensi Feeder Road. The contract was awarded on 9th March 2018 and commenced on 9th May 2018 for completion by 9th September 2019. The project is being funded by the Ghana Road Fund. Mr. Speaker, the contractor abandoned the project after achieving 62% physical progress due to delay in payment for work done. Warning letters have been issued to the contractor reminding him of his contractual obligation to complete the remaining works. The contractor has indicated his willingness to go back to site after payment of the outstanding certificate. Then 2, Kojo Kweli to China to Jimpesi Road. Mr. Speaker, there is no program on this road. Future program is that engineering design studies have been conducted on the road and cost estimates submitted for consideration. The execution of the works will be considered under the 2024 budget, subject to availability of funds.
Yes. I give you one supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister for his response, except to say that almost all the questions that the Minister has been asking is about availability of funds. So I would like to plead that government or finance ministry should try to make funds available so that the Minister can do his work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. From Dafiama Busie, we move to Pong Katamanso. Honorable Joseph Akuate Teti. Is it Tete or Teti? What's the pronunciation?
Tete.
Tete?
Yes.
Very well. Let's hear you, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways what plans the ministry has to construct the following roads: Boom, Paria, Saki, Bediaku Road, Katamanso to Oibi Road. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Bombaria to Saki Bediakun Road is 3.8 kilometers long and in poor surface condition. It is located in the Bum Katamansu municipality of the Greater Accra region. The road starts from Callisto Junction to Michel Camp Gate. Mr. Speaker, currently there is no program on the Bum barrier to Saki Bediakun Road. Future program is that engineering studies will be undertaken on the road by the end of the third quarter of 2023 to determine the appropriate intervention to be carried out on the road. Work will be considered under the 2024 budget, subject to availability of funds. Katamanso to Oyibi Road, Mr. Speaker. This road forms an integral part of the regional road R20, which connects the Adenta Dodowa Road at Oyibi Junction and traverses Apollonia, Katamanso, and Ashama to the Tema motorway. The road falls under the Bum Katamanso Municipal Assembly. The road is surface dressed in poor condition. Mr. Speaker, currently the road has been awarded for upgrading works under the project title Upgrading of Oyibi to Ashaman Road, 11.7 kilometers, as Lot 3. Work commenced on 20th December 2012 for completion by 19th December 2013, which was revised to 19th October 2016. Physical progress to date is estimated at 95%. The contractor is not on site. 2 warning letters have been issued to the contractor to return to site. He has, however, not done so. Notice of termination has been issued to the contractor. Mr. Speaker, engineering studies will be conducted on the outstanding works and estimates prepared for consideration under the 2024 budget, subject to availability of funds. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Honorable, let's hear you if you have supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My checks at the Bum Katamanso Municipal Assembly indicates that Bum barrier to Bediakun Road has been awarded to Maxam Company Limited. In the response of the minister, he indicates that there is no program on the said road. So I want to find out how do we reconcile the two positions, because that road needs urgent attention. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member for Pong Katamanso, may you repeat your question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My checks at the Pong Katamanso Municipal Assembly indicates that Bombaria to Bediaku Road has been awarded to Maxam Company Limited. But in the response of the minister, he indicates that there is no current program for the said road. So I want to find out how do we reconcile these two positions, because that road needs urgent attention. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's very simple and straightforward. It is not in our database because it has not been awarded by us, and we have responsibility for rules. But we also have the local content of certain roads that the municipal assemblies or district assemblies could carry out, emergency works on them. So perhaps the assembly or the municipality attempted to do something on the road, as an interim measure. We will not know. So my position is clear. So if the assembly did anything at all, it's just, like I said, an interim measure. But the road has not been officially awarded on contract. And it's not contradictory at all. And that is why we don't have any record on it in our database. Thank you, please.
Very well. I hope it is clear.
No, I have two follow-ups.
Okay, let's hear.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On Katamanso to Oibi Road, in the response of the minister, he indicates that fiscal progress to date is estimated at 95%. I want to find out what the minister means by 95% of physical progress, because for some years now that road has been in a very bad state. So I want to find out from the minister what he means by 95% progress as of today. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yes, I know what my honorable colleague is complaining about. Physical completion of road means, and it tells you the state of work done on that road. And every road project being undertaken has its own scopes, what we call scope of works. So, if we say a project is 50% completed, it depends upon the scope and which of the scopes might have been completed. On that road, and it's in your constituency, you can testify that a lot of work has been done on it. Drains have been done, a lot of culverts, almost all the culverts are done. It's left with the earthworks. Even that had been done, but because it's not brought to bituminous level and with rains, it has deteriorated. So you may see portions of the road deteriorated, but it's not affecting the culverts, so many culverts and the drains already done on the road, because these are scopes that are concrete. And if you put percentage completion to it, and for that matter cost, it's at a very high cost. So in terms of percentage completion of all those concrete works and all the drains as against the earthwork to be done, you can get that high percentage. So it's not
surprising at all. And should the contractor come back, and I know the contractor on that road, a very strong contractor, if we sort out a few issues and he comes back, you will see that within 2 weeks, the entire road will be smooth and motorable, because he will come back to do the earthworks, and the road works or the earthworks takes a shorter time to complete, because the major work that constitutes that high percentage would have already been done. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, on behalf of the House, we'd like to thank you for appearing before all of us to answer questions. I think together with the urgent question, you've answered 12 questions. Your brothers and sisters are grateful to you, and we wish you well in your ministry. You are hereby discharged. Yes, Leader.
Speaker, as was scheduled earlier, we are due to have a joint caucus, a meeting with the finance minister on some critical matters. But for now, leadership has related. We'll suspend for 30 minutes. When we come back, we'll have the joint caucus with the finance minister. So we urge colleagues to stay around. There are very important matters to be discussed. And so that we'll suspend for 30 minutes.
Very well. Honorable members, the sitting is not adjourned, it's suspended for 30 minutes. So the sitting is hereby suspended for 30 minutes.